My plans after high school is going to college, getting major in business.
I really want to go to Berkeley or Santa Fe School of Music.
I plan to go to college at University of Michigan or Michigan State.
I want to be a psychologist, be recognized for my good work.
We're trying as hard as we can to, compete with worldwide schools, and we really do want a good education.
Join the coalition because personally, if we don't get it right with the kids, we're never going to reach our destination as a city.
I joined the coalition to hope to provide a better way or path for children to receive a better quality education, which I think is their civil right.
I joined to make sure that the Detroit Public School story was told and it was accurate.
I'm a classroom teacher at Dawson Elementary Middle School in Detroit Public Schools.
You have principals, you have teachers, you have business leaders.
The whole idea of taking 36 different people from different backgrounds who barely know each other and putting them in a room and giving them 3-4 months to come up with a document that is going to essentially solve world peace. Do something that's just very complex and very difficult is a major task. Not easy.
This can't be just nibbling around the edges. We've seen that for too long, I think, in Detroit and a lot of school districts. So it has to be really bold.
It has not all been unicorns and glitter either.
Grueling. Productive, though.
Long, hard, painful. But, at the end, hopefully meaningful.
The joke on the academic subcommittee, I have another co-chair, Clark Durant. Towards the end of the meeting, everything we have been almost falling in step with, whereas at the beginning, we were completely on different sides of the planet. I mean, we don't have a perfect agreement, let's be clear, but we found some common ground.
It's been an enormous commitment of time with a lot of very dedicated people trying to work through very thorny issues.
Difficult conversation, research, conversation with folks in other cities about what they're doing, wrestling with these problems.
It has been draining. It has been challenging. We have had many eurekas.
When we started, there were some very heated exchanges from people who we knew were not in agreement with one another. But over the course of the dialogue, working together, that attitude, that difference has changed.
Surprising in the process for me has been working with people who don't come from where I come from, who have different views, who don't look like me, that I don't normally associate with, and getting to hear the perspectives of other folks from other sides of the table, and surprisingly understanding their point of view.
Some of the people that you would think would have opposing viewpoints, I've actually found that we have very similar ones.
Surprisingly, I've been able to have some impact in the process. I really didn't think I would change any minds or get people to see my point of view.
You might make some assumptions about people, but then you realize they have the same care about the children, so that's really hopeful.
It's refreshing that we have come together to a point where we're saying, yes, we're all on the same page about so many issues.
The work has been done honestly, directly, and with true heart.
For me, as a parent, to be involved in things like this shows something.
I enjoyed the fact that we began the discussion with guiding ethics and values, especially around the idea that we should all be here for children, chiefly.
We all believe in the children.
This work is very authentic. It came from the hearts of people who care about students in the city of Detroit. Not just DPS students, not just EAA students, not charter students, but all students.
People were not there grandstanding, people were not there for their own benefit, just no one was getting anything out of it. People really do care.
I do, I read, that is my passion. And I know the only way that we can lift the children, Detroit children out of poverty is through education.
We live in a society with people with different interests, so we shouldn't expect 100% alignment, but we're pretty damn close. I think the recommendations are really strong. I think we're getting to some good stuff. You know, the nature of these kinds of efforts is that you're never happy with everything, but there are recommendations in this group that I think everybody should be really pleased by.
I'm hopeful that we come up with a close to consensus, pretty coherent and exciting set of recommendations that we can make to the governor and to the state that have appeal to the local community, that makes sense to teachers and educators and people who are involved in education.
I am hopeful that people in Lansing, in our city, in our schools, in our community, realize these bold recommendations will make some people uncomfortable, but change often does.
As a community activist, a lot of people believe that the important thing is to fight. And I believe that the most important thing is to build.
Those of us that are engaged in education, those of us that invest, those of us that employ the students that we produce, have come up with something we think will work or at least move us forward so that we don't continue to fail the students in Detroit.